Hello and welcome to this lecture, and this lecture is actually going to be a fun, interesting and a short lecture which is actually going to show you how you could play audio in your Android application. So let's say you want to add some audio effects to your application. So for example, let's assume that you want to have a button, and when that button is clicked you want to have some audio effect. So in order to make this application working, we do need to have one mp3 file. So I have a sample demo file here which I am going to play right now. So let me just open this thing up. So as you could see, this is the audio file which we have, which sounds something like this. So here what we are going to do is that we are going to add this sound effect to our application so that when the user clicks a button, he should get this sound. So the first thing which you need to do is that you do need to copy this sound effect into your application. So I'm going to simply go ahead and copy this mp3 file. I'm going to open up Android Studio. So now in order to copy that file in Android Studio, what we need to do is that in the resources folder, we do need to create our very own folder. So let's go ahead, right click on the resources folder and create a new Android resource directory. And let's name this directory as, let's say, raw. Hit OK. And we are basically good to go. So as you could see, now we have the new directory, and you could go ahead and paste your audio file over here. So I'm going to simply right click over here and hit paste, and make sure to name your file as something appropriate. So I'm going to name mine as a.mp3 and I'm going to hit OK. So as you could see right now in the raw folder, I have a file which is a.mp3. Now let's go ahead and add a button to this particular app so that we could go ahead and make that button functional. So I'm going to remove this text view right here, and let's type in button, and the layout width is going to be, let's say, wrap content, and the height is going to be wrap content as well. And now let me just specify the text over here. So that's going to be Android text, and let's say this thing says click here, and let's align it to the center. So center horizontal is going to be equal to true, and center vertical is going to be true as well. And the final thing which we do is that we add an onClick to this. So let's say the name of the onClick method is button clicked. And now what we will do is that in order to play this sound, we do need to make changes to the main activity.java file. So we are going to create the button click method in the main activity. So we go right here and create a method by typing public void button clicked. This is going to get a view. And in here, the first thing which we are going to do is that we are going to create a media player object. So whenever you actually want to play some kind of media in your application, you always need to have the media player object. So for that, let's type media player. Let's name this object as mp equals media player dot create. And to this create, what you need to do is that you need to pass in your file location. So first we pass in the context as this, and then the location is basically r dot, the folder is raw, and the file name is nothing but a. So I'm going to just pass in my file over here. And then finally you need to start the media player. So we type media player dot start, and that's actually going to start playing your sound. So now once we are done with this, we are almost done with the application. So I'm simply going to save the code, and I'm going to run this app on my device and see how this thing works. So as you could see, the application is up and running, and when I basically go ahead and click this button, I'm actually able to not hear the sound because my volume is low. So let me just increase my volume, and when I click this button, as you could see, you get a funny sound. So when you again click this button, you're again going to get the same sound. So this is how you could basically go ahead and play audio in your Android application. And what you could basically do with this application is that you could create your very own prank application. So for example, you could add multiple sounds to your raw folder, and instead of having a single button or a single option over here, you could add as many options as you want, and you could add a bunch of funny sounds to this raw folder, and you could basically play them by simply creating the media player object as we have created right over here. The only thing which you need to take care of is that you do need to specify the proper path to your file which you have in the raw folder. So that's it for this lecture, and I hope you guys were able to understand how to play audio in your Android app. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you.